what has gotten Nigerians chatting and talking on the social space. We're talking about a top trending segment. Is what we'll start with, and the first one is not a story I really or ordinarily would like to talk about or touch on because it's so close by, just not far from where we are. But the traditional ruler of Ikate Legoshi Kingdom, he is His Royal Majesty.
Hello and welcome. On this episode on One-on-One today, I'm speaking with a professional with over 18 years experience. His name is Aziz Abida. Now, those who have worked with him say he possesses strong leadership qualities and management skills. He has worked in about 12 industries, including general management, corporate finance, portfolio management, investment banking, private equity, and financial advisory. He's the former CEO of IHS Rwanda.
Well, we hear that there was a memo that was issued or sent to residents of Ikate Legoshi, in which the monarch announced that is alleged to have announced that there will be restriction of movement to perform the oral rite in the community from Wednesday to Saturday. Residents of the community are also alleging, or some residents, let's say, are also alleging that there is a political motive for the curfew, which will further disenfranchise women and non-indigens from voting on the election day. Others have complained that they will be paralyzed, or it will paralyze commercial activities in the community. All right, and the press reached out to Temitope Oyefesho. Temitope Oyefesho is the Special Assistant on Media Affairs to the monarch of Ikate Kingdom. He is reported to have confirmed that an oral rite is taking place or happening in Ikate Legoshi Kingdom, which is a very, very important part of Etiosa in Lagos. Okay, Etiosa local government area in Lagos. It's a very important part of Etiosa in Lagos. So this is what he is quoted as saying. Yes, there is an oral rite happening in the kingdom, so the Legoshi Community Council decided that residents time. It is an annual event. This is not the first time. We are not disrupting any process. All right. So, he also said, quote, voting starts at 8 a.m. There is a police curfew from midnight on election day. We are not doing anything different from what the police have done. It was just commenced 2 days earlier. People should stop speculating or being mischievous about our rights. It's not interfering with the process. Residents can move about from morning till 11:30 p.m. Morning till 11:30 p.m. So that's that. Of course, the police public relations officer in Lagos State was reached, and he says he won't engage in hearsay. He won't engage in speculation. Of course, that's what he said. So, before this news became public, or this allegation became public, there were some rumors that something like this was going to happen in some parts of Lagos. And there was a particular community where the residents had to reach out to the commissioner of police to say, look at what's going on. They're saying we can't come out, in this election period. What the media aide to the monarch in Ikate Legoshi has said, I think should give us more insight, or is quoted as saying, should give us more insight into what exactly is at play here. Because they're saying that they're starting on Wednesday, and it is going to continue till Saturday morning. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, is what he is quoted as saying. And if indeed it is true, it would therefore mean that the what do you call it? Voters will be allowed to go around, move about on Saturday, especially going by the fact that the allegation says that the movement restriction will start from 11:30 p.m. till morning. However, what we hear, another latest, is that the Oba has come out to debunk this allegation, or to debunk this particular insinuation. But it's something that we'll have to clarify, because yesterday I saw in the Punch newspaper that Oba Saheed Ademola himself on yesterday said that the 2023 Oro Festival will not affect the governorship elections. That's what he's saying. Through his media aide, Temitope Oyefesha, as we mentioned earlier. So whether it's a debunking, I'm not too sure about that. But what they're saying is that the election day is not included. The election day is not included. And moreover, they are going to restrict the movement of people from maybe 11:30 p.m. or midnight to 5 a.m. where they will perform the rites. So the election day is not included. And moreover, he says on the Friday before the election day, there's a curfew, usually put in place by the police. So they're not doing anything different. So some have said, okay, it's a modern society. Why are people going to be restricted for traditional rites and all that? But they are doing their thing in the night. I can't remember as the city I lived in, where when there's a particular cult, if they want to move around at night, you have to turn off your light, turn off the generating set, everybody stay at home. And if they see any light on, security light, they'll smash it. If they catch you on the road, at that time you are on your own with a masquerade. So it's I think what we can say is that we right here, at PlusTvAfrica, we have a high regard for the traditional institutions, and I'm sure Nigerians out there, the voting public, will have a high regard for the traditional institutions. Oba Elegushi is a very, very respected monarch. That's talking about Oba Saheed Ademola, the traditional of Ikate Elegushi Kingdom in Lagos. A very respected monarch, and very revered monarch at that. And traditional rites, traditional processes and all that are really, the exclusive preserve of the custodians of the land. They have a right to do that. The question some would ask is, why now? But what the Oba's media assistant is saying is that it just happens that it's an annual exercise. It just happens that it's coinciding. It's a coincidence coinciding with the run-up to the election period. But that they've moved it some days before the election, and that in the daytime, people are allowed to go about their activities. But from 11:30 p.m. or midnight to 5 a.m., you can't do that. So those who want to go clubbing, you have to think about maybe staying in a hotel or something, So I think that's that. There's nothing, just stay at home or stay somewhere else. Allow the traditional institution to do the thing. And on election day, people are free to move. It ends on Friday. So there's nothing to be worried about. All right, we'll move on to another top trending story. A total of 21 suspected internet fraudsters, we call them Yahoo boys. I don't think we should even call them Yahoo boys anymore. I think it should be Yahoo boys and girls. In the name of gender equality. I spoke to a taxi driver or cab driver from one of these ride-hailing apps, and he was complaining to me that people would show him in the midst of the cash crunch in Nigeria and surge in use of banks' online platform, internet platforms, and mobile applications. So the banks are finding it difficult to cope with the surge. So sometimes, from time to time, they will complain to you that they have, people are not paying them, or love. But what I hear now is a trend. Is that some of these fraudsters or passengers who want to dupe the drivers, ride-hailing drivers, would show them fake transaction notices or alerts or receipts, And one driver was trying to convince me that his female drivers or passengers are the ones that do it more, which was a shock to me. So maybe we need to just call it what it is. It's no more Yahoo boys, but Yahoo boys and girls. Really, that's the situation. But for this one, those I can see in front of me are boys, young guys, 21 of them, suspected internet fraudsters. Of course, they'll be charged to court. If they are found guilty, then we can call them internet fraudsters. And I'm happy that the media is choosing not to show their face, but is showing them from behind, which is good. So that they can be given their day in court. The EFCC, Nigeria's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, is the corruption watchdog, arrested them, and the names have been put out. I don't know why the names are put out since they're still suspects, But the anti-graft agency, in a statement on its official Twitter page, said the suspects were arrested in Lugbe and Kubwa suburbs of Abuja. The arrest followed what they call actionable intelligence on their alleged internet-related fraud activities. They said they recovered some items from them. When they say we recovered items, I don't know, are those items stolen? Because you hear them saying we recovered 2 mobile phones, recovered 3 laptops, recovered 2 iPhones and all that. If you go see someone, arrest somebody who is a suspect, and they have their property, do you call that recovering? But I'm sure the security operatives and police and the FCC will know best the language to use since it's their profession. But to me, as a layman in that area, I sometimes wonder why they say they recovered. Maybe you raid the house of a suspect and their mobile phones, and then they parade the mobile phones. So we recovered 5 mobile phones from them. I mean, I didn't know meant to have mobile phones. But anyway, maybe the laptops are part of the exhibits, I don't know, but it's somehow awkward to me. They said they recovered 3 laptops, Mercedes CLA 250, which is a choice car of Yahoo boys, but it doesn't mean these are Yahoo boys. We don't know yet. 25 high-end mobile phones and a C300 car. The FCC saying they'll be arraigned in court as soon as investigations are concluded. And this is my problem. It's a problem I have. Why are you sounding like these guys have already been convicted when you are just about to start an investigation? Somebody tipped you off. You went and raided their home. You arrested them, and you're putting their names out in public. Which I mean, you never can tell what the effect of this will be. There's a case somewhere I think in the United States or in Britain, of a celebrity who was accused of sexually harassing a woman. Well, he went to court and then he was cleared of all these charges. And he was interviewed. This was earlier this week. And was asked, for his thoughts. And he said it's going to be hard for him to repair the damage to his reputation, since his name has been put out there already. It's going to be hard for him. So, for me, it's not about discouraging anti-graft agencies, but we talk about media trial. Like I said, first of all, it's good that their faces weren't shown. Secondly, I think their names should not have been put out. Do your job, do your investigation. That's why you're paid, and then go to court. And when they are convicted, you can announce that, hey, these people have been convicted and found guilty and all that. Even the practice of a mug shot, being released to the public by AFCC, I do not know how do I call it? I do not know how whether that is known to Nigerian law. That you arrest a suspect. Though Kofi Bartels, he's what do they call it? We have information on him or financial crimes or something. Then they come swoop on. Maybe it's a mistaken identity. Because it happened to me before, and they put my name on the document, mistaken identity, and they swoop on you, and then you're like, what's going on? And then they take you to their facility and they take a picture of you and put it on social media. OAP, on a personality, broadcaster, caught or arrested for internet fraud. Investigations are about to start. How about? And if I walk free, who's going to repair the damage to my reputation? If it were me, I would definitely call my lawyer, and I would say to my lawyer, please, can you file a suit? And they'll pay huge money. So I think this agency should, Yahoo Boys, we're used to this thing. We commend them for the work they are doing, but they should conclude their investigation before putting such out. And then also they should tell some of the operatives to also, if they find these guys doing these things, not collect money from them, do the job. Because from what some of these Yahoo Boys have alleged, they're saying that, they'll be roughed up, by some security men, not AFCC, but it could be some other agency. I don't know. Maybe. And they'll be roughed up, taken in, and all these things will be done only for them to be for money to be collected from them, sort of a bribe, and they'll be set free. They'll be set free. So it's good the FCC are saying that they're going to go to court with this, but they need to talk to some of the operatives, the FCC police, whichever it is, to not do what they've been doing before, which is rough some of these boys up and collect money and all that. Okay, let's go to Rivers State. My production people seem to be so interested in this story, so I won't waste time. So these are pictures of women protesting the election results in Rivers State. You just see them in a matter of seconds. These women, yesterday, Wednesday, February 25, you can see that on your screen, found their way to the Independent National Electoral Commission office on Aba Road, near water lines. That's what they call it, in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. And you can see they are wearing all black, and you can see the placards they are holding. INEC, we are watching you. INEC, Rivers State. Rivers State is not for sale. Yakubu Mamu Yakubu, Wike's, what, I can't see that one. INEC, stop killing. Rivers State, let our votes count. Excuses from INEC, and all that. So, like you've seen on your screen, they were all black, carrying placards, some of them reading, INEC, we are watching you, INEC, do the right thing for once, amongst others. And we don't know who these women are, but I think this follows some of the incidents during the presidential election in Rivers State, which basically amounted to daylight robbery. And if the election in Rivers State stands, then of course we know that nothing has changed as far as democracy in Nigeria is concerned. What the politicians will do? They will say, let's just do it first. Let's rig the election first, and then let's go to court, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, and that's what's been happening. And it'll be quite unfortunate if it continues, in 2023. Of course, there are different elections. If you look at the House of Representatives elections, the governorship elections, and the Senate elections, there are different dynamics involved. And the candidates, some of them have their base, they have their structure, they have supporters. But some people strongly feel that the presidential election results in Port Harcourt were rigged. And the evidence is so loud, especially in one or two local government areas. From the reports that our correspondent gave to us at the time, the evidence is so loud. And we can confidently conclude that there was broad daylight robbery of election results in Rivers State. Anyone who will say that didn't happen, or we shouldn't say that, means that we should actually report what happened and then come on air and lie that it didn't happen, which personally I can't do. I can't do that. But I don't know if this will amount to anything, because in 2015, in Rivers State, people came out to shout and protest, and they said, let's go to court. And the rest is history. So the dramatist person there, maybe, sitting down and drinking their champagne and just saying, look at them, nothing will come out of this. So I wish them the best in Port Harcourt. I hope that they get justice. But, for these women, I wonder who is playing the drums or the tune for the dance they're dancing. It could be that some of the candidates on Saturday's election, or in Saturday's governorship election, may want to use this as a way of putting pressure on INEC so that there will be no rigging. Now, can you blame them? If for wanting a free and fair election, if a politician sponsors something like this, you can see the placards look really new and fresh. Can you blame them? Because, any politician who sponsors something like this will want to have a free and fair election. And all they're asking for is a free and fair election that is not rigged. an election where, when the voting is done, the results that were recorded in the polling unit will be what will be written on the result sheet. And when it's taken by the presiding officer to the RA or Ward Collation Center, as recommended by INEC, that they won't change the results. And when the ward results are gathered and taken to the local government area, a free and fair election means that the presiding or the collation officer in the local government will not disappear for 3 days. It will not be in either government house or be in local government headquarters, rewriting the results. A free and fair election means that the local government collation officer, whose result is meant to be submitted at the state collation center, which is just in his same city, will not get there 3 days after, while those who were bringing results from local governments that you have to cross water to get to some parts got there before him. A free and fair election will mean that the local government collation officers in Rivers State will not disappear for 3 days and appear in company of security, heavy security, all right, heavy security, which was not given to him by anybody from INEC, security men unknown to INEC, in tinted, glass vehicles, suspected to be that from government house. Okay, a free and fair election will mean that a local government collation officer in Rivers State would not be held down by a local government chairman who has been threatened by the governor to produce results. Otherwise, he will be dealt with. It means that she won't have to call the commissioner of police, okay, to come and rescue her from a local government chairman who is pressuring her to change the result and who has abducted her. It will mean that local government chairman who is not accredited to be in the INEC State Collation Center will not follow her there in a bid to try and convince her and everybody there frantically, okay, shaking and sweating to change the results to what he wants it to be. That is what we mean by free and fair election. It is what the people vote is what will be seen. A free and fair election in Rivers State means that what we see on the result sheets stamped and signed and given to the party polling unit agents, okay, those results will not be different from what will be announced by the local government collation officer. That the results will not be different from, as announced, will not be different from what INEC itself is uploading on its IRF portal. A free and fair election in Rivers State it will mean that when the party agents follow the presiding officer to the RA or Ward Collation Center, and from there to local government collation center, that thugs and hoodlums, which is their right, it's in the electoral act, thugs and hoodlums will not appear from nowhere and chase them away and abduct the INEC collation officers to an unknown destination. A free and fair election in Rivers State and by extension Nigeria will mean that the Beavers device will not cease working all of a sudden, or the INEC officials will not complain that they can't upload the results and then go away with them to unknown destinations. That's what these women are protesting for. That's what they're protesting for. We're not fools. Nigerians are not fools. And we see what's happening. And we in the media, we have a responsibility as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution to hold government to account. And when we see blue, we call it blue, no matter who is involved. When we see red, we call it red.